Welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to talk about the philodendron because we've done this episode about 3 weeks ago. What we did is we went around the garden and we picked up so many of my philodendron, of which I took it into the house and did a water propagation with it. Now, what I suddenly thought to myself is that what happens after the philodendron has actually rooted? How are you going to look after this plant? Because basically it does have special requirements like any other plant. So welcome back to my channel. My name is Alice and I'm the Red Soil Gardener. Another reason is what I thought about philodendrons, and especially for beginners, as you saw when we went around the garden and picked up, did cuttings of the philodendron, is that this is something that beginners can actually do. If you're a beginner gardener, philodendrons are the best plant to actually start with. Now, the thing about philodendrons is that, first of all, they are rainforest plants. And so if you, in your mind, you can actually imagine the sort of environment they actually grow in, which is usually dappled light, and they grow underneath the canopies. Once you do understand that, is that then in your mind you know exactly how to look after a philodendron. Now the thing about philodendrons again is that because they grow in these rainforests, is that first of all, so if you look at the light requirement, what do they really want? Okay, sitting underneath the canopies in this dappled light. The best light for philodendron is a bright indirect sun, because if you do get, like what I did with my monstera ones, is that once you do have them in full sun, what happens is that the leaves do get scorched, and once they do get scorched, you have to remove those leaves. So again, going back to beginners, is that because if you were in an apartment or let's say indoors and you wanted your philodendrons, because you don't get direct sun in certain areas in your house, is that where you see that you do get a bright indirect sun, is do place them there. However, when you do want to have it near a window, do pull the plant slightly back, because also the heat from the window and the direct sun will again scorch your leaves. So what sort of soil does a philodendron like? Again, go back into that rainforest and just imagine that you do have layers of mulch and compost underneath these amazing trees. And that is a sort of medium that you need a philodendron to be in. So it has to be well aerated and it has to be well draining, because philodendrons don't want water around their roots. Otherwise they'll get root rot. The thing about philodendrons and the water requirement is basically with philodendrons, you must let them dry out between feeds. Now, the only thing you have to do is do your finger test, which is placing your finger and basically 2-3 inches. If it's dry, then you do water that philodendron. Don't keep watering, because I did lose some of my plants. This particular plant here, I did overwater it and suddenly my leaves started rotting and I was almost at a point that I was getting root rot. So once you do understand, do your finger test and dry it out between feeds. Philodendrons actually like a bit of humidity. So in a situation, for example, in winter, when you do have your philodendron indoors and you do have the heater working, is that it's always best to mist your plant, and it's just to get a little container like this and just keep misting your plant, and that actually does help them. The other thing what you could do is actually get a pebble tray, and it's just basically getting your tray, put your little pebbles on it and keep all those indoor plants close together, that as they transpire, the humidity circulates around these beautiful forest plants and your philodendron will be actually happy. Another thing about philodendrons is, for example, in countries or in hot summers like we've been getting heat waves, is that if you do have air conditioning in your house, they don't like that air conditioning. So that is another thing that just be careful with. Another thing to be careful with is in winter is sometimes we do open the window, and if your philodendron is near a cold draft, they do suffer. So that is another thing to actually note. Now, you have to understand that with philodendrons, although they do like bright indirect sunlight, is sometimes we do get a bit too sensitive and move it into a dark corner. Now what happens is that if you do move it in an area that you don't get the bright indirect sun, is that they will get leggy. Now once they do get leggy, the best thing is actually, maybe the best thing is actually to do cut off that stem, do your pruning. And again, like what we did last time, once you do your pruning, you could actually start propagating it, making sure your nodes are in water. Just put it in a vase or in a beer glass, as I've done, and it will start picking up. But do move that plant in an area that you do have your bright indirect sun, because it will grow much faster than when it's in a shaded area. Now the other thing is with these philodendron is that they do get problems. They do, you may find that you do get yellow leaves. Now the yellow leaves are usually due to over or under watering. Now when you do see yellow leaves forming at the base of the plant, that means the plant is actually is overwatered. However, if you do get a leaf that is further up and it does turn yellow, that means the plant did need that water, so you've underwatered it. So it's always try to find a balance as to how to look after your philodendron, the sun, the soil, and the watering. Now another thing is that if your leaves do turn brown and you get this sort of halo of yellow around, is that what happens with that, it just means that your plant just needs that extra humidity. So do look after your plant. Now what I wanted to show you is with the philodendron, because I've got so many around. So these are the ones I did last time. Now this is one that we're doing a part 2 of philodendrons, because it's called the Bipin atom philodendron, and you will help me, and it's the first time I'm doing this propagation, so you will help me go through this propagation again using exactly the same notes that we had in terms of sun, because I had actually put it in a shadier area and I got a lot of yellow leaves. Then in the end, some of the leaves went mushy because I didn't know how to look after this plant. And so what happened is they got really scraggy and soft and mushy. So I had to do that bit. And then what I also discovered is that I should have been pruning it, because it does have a lot of babies. And again, we go into the pruning of philodendrons. So we do have a part 2 as I propagate this and use the same principle that I've been telling you, which is the soil, the water and the sun, and we'll talk about it. Now, what happens with philodendrons, especially the ones which are vine, is that they will start climbing upwards, and the best thing you can do is actually stake it. So what I usually do is get a piece of bamboo like this, I get it cut to size, and then you just stick it in and attach it with either one of those like this, and support your vine. Now, that will actually help it from tipping backwards or even breaking, but that is another idea you need to do. Now, sometimes your philodendron may get pests, and then what you simply do is get your piece of cloth as I reach out, and just soapy water, 1 tablespoon of dishwashing liquid to 1 litre of water, shake it up, spray your plant, and then just clean the leaves. And in fact, apart from having pests where you do have to look underneath and clean them, but sometimes the leaves of the philodendron, sometimes they do get a lot of dust on it, and it's always good to actually clean those leaves so that in a way it doesn't prevent the sun from reaching into the leaves and start its photosynthesis. Now, when propagating a philodendron, what you need to do is that you do have a soil propagation, which is simply getting your philodendron, as I pull, let me pull this one out. This is the philodendron that we actually nipped the other day. And as you can see, it is growing. And I do have actually something coming up here. But what you do with your philodendron is you can, exactly as I did, you cut and ensure that the node is either in the soil or in the water. Once you do this, you will get babies and it will start multiplying. So once, like with this water propagation, and you could use any sort of vessel, this time I've used a beer bottle, but what I did is submerge the nodes, which is this place here, in the water. And actually this water propagation, as I see little roots and the nodes actually having its leaves coming out, is about 3 weeks old, 3 weeks old. So once you do have that, what you do is place it in a warm place, indirect sun, and you will get rooting. You will start getting rooting. Now, with the soil propagation, is you could take that plant once you've cut it at the node and place it in soil, and you will get rooting, and the plant will grow. They're very, very easy maintenance, easy to take care of, and easy to propagate. Another method of propagation is through air layering. Air layering is keeping the plant intact if you do have a vine, and then taking your vine and where you get the nodes, you stick it in the soil, and what happens is that plant will start rooting at that node. But that we'll save for another day, as we have so much to do. And don't forget to follow us on the part 2 of philodendrons as we master how to propagate this lovely bipin atom philodendron. I'm actually quite curious, so do follow us on the next episode and let's multiply this plant. So thank you so much, fellow gardeners. Don't forget to subscribe and press that notification button, and don't forget to leave your comments for me. I just do love those comments. And don't forget, we're on Instagram under Red Soil Gardener, we're on Facebook, and do leave your comments everywhere, and do get yourself philodendrons because they're such beautiful plants, low maintenance and easy to take care of. And try propagating your plants and you will have abundance. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.